Hello everybody, this is Jeff Byers, your instructor for Andy 150, Introduction to 3D Modeling and Game Art. So, you guys made it. You got through the first module. Congratulations. Let's go ahead and go to our assignments. And now we're ready to go into Module 2. So again, Module 2 starts this week on Monday. That is today at 9 o'clock in the morning. Your discussion post starts, it opens up at 9 o'clock Monday morning. And the quiz 2 opens up on June 19th, which is Friday at 12 at night. And you have until the 21st. So everything closes on the 21st. Now, the discussion post, the initial discussion post, you have to post the initial discussion on Wednesday, June 17th, and make sure it's done before 11:59. So, and then you've got to reply to two other students, by Sunday again at 11:59 to get the full 10 points. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and get in, and this is going to be part 2. So you created the crate, and that's exciting. You modeled the crate. Basically, let's kind of recap. So you modeled the crate and created a medium poly, and then you smoothed it, and that's the high poly. We exported it out of Maya, brought it into Mudbox, and added all those details using alpha maps. And then you exported that out as a crazy 8 million polygon, 500 megabyte file, which is insane. You can't open that up in Maya unless you have a monster computer with lots of RAM, like probably would take maybe 32 gigs of RAM, maybe even 64 gigs of RAM, and that would be a hefty machine to be able to open up 8 million polygons. I think there is actually a limit in Maya. I've never hit that limit, never needed to, but I think it's around. It has to do with your RAM, how much RAM you have, but I don't know if there's any internal polygon limit in or vertex limit in Maya. There are some packages that do have vertex limits, but anyway, I digress. You guys know all the information by now. I do get some of you that have emailed me realize that I am not kidding when I say I will get back to you really fast. I'm not one of those that, I mean, I'm behind my computer all day long, and I take a lunch. So if I miss the 12:30, I will be back at 1:30. I do take an hour and I do step away. But if I miss that one, I will be back at 1:30 and will email you immediately. So that's the only time that I would say I do take a break, but I do try to check before I take my lunch. Okay, so that's the only time. I mean, when I check these times, and a lot of times, even if you do in between, if I'm basically I hear my little bell go off, it lets me know when you guys email me, and I get right on it. So please feel free to email me. You can text me to let me know that you've emailed me. I do not answer phone calls though, unless it is like a unless I need to call you, meaning that if we can't figure it out corresponding between emails, which is almost real time sometimes. Some of you guys have actually had almost real time, conversations. and I get back to you right away. And if I feel like I can't figure it out, or I don't have enough information to figure it out to help you, I will probably extend the hand of calling you. So be prepared for that, and also be prepared to share your scene file with me. Okay. So how do you do that? Well, Maya basically has a format. It's just MB file. If it's just one file, you can just send me that MB file. Right click on it and check the properties. You know how you right click on stuff to see what the properties are. So in any Windows format, you can right click on a folder and go to properties, and it'll tell you how large, how many megabytes that folder is, or that object, or excuse me, the file itself is. So you can send me probably up to 5 to 10 megabytes. Most of your stuff will never be that big unless you can't send me like Mudbox Mudbox files, because those are huge. But Maya files, most of the time your modeling is less than 5 or 6 megabytes. You might be surprised. I mean, it's pretty small. So you can just send me the file, and just tell me what the problem is. Send me the file, and I can even just fix it and send it back to you and tell you what I fixed and how I did it, because sometimes it's almost impossible. I mean, I'm saying you may have hit a hotkey in Maya and corrupted that file, and there may be nothing I can do, but I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve, because of the 20 years I've been working in the industry, that sometimes it's difficult to explain what to do or where to go, and a lot of times just getting the file, having me problem solve it, and then tell you how I problem solved it, works really good, especially when you're a beginner. Now, as you go along, I want you to try to problem solve more and more and more on your own and find things. There's so many resources out there, especially forums like Autodesk forums. And if you type in the actual question, or if you get an error, you can copy and paste that error in a search engine, and I guarantee you something will come up. So if you get an error, and in Maya, in the helpline, where the mel script is, you see that, you can copy and paste it, and I'm telling you, something will come up. So use your resources, and of course, I'm here. I'm here to help. I want to help you guys. So this week, we are really solely interested in focusing on 4 things. Okay. So the 4 things are: you're still learning the Maya user interface, you're still learning hotkeys, you're still learning we're not going to really focus on modeling this week, but I have a lesson that I want you guys to watch, at least watch it, to let you know what some of the new or some of the modeling tools that you'll need to know for the next module, because we're going to start a new part 1 and part 2, modeling first and then texturing, in the next module. So you're going to learn about UV tools, texturing, and rendering out the new models. Okay? So you're also going to learn how to present your work in a professional manner, which is really, really important. It's better to learn it now than later. So objectives, you can read basically, we're going to learn something new. Even if you've done 3D modeling and texturing before, you've never done what I'm about to show you. I can pretty much guarantee it. If you have, kudos to you. So I'm going to teach you how to create and pack UVs. I'm going to teach you how to use Udemy tiles. I'm going to show you how to get started with Substance Painter. I'm going to talk about the Arnold render engine and how to use that. We're going to explore PBR texturing, and we're going to talk about portfolio packaging. So this is a big thing. We have a huge week. The first 2 weeks are the worst. They're the hardest. But I guarantee you're going to learn so much in these 2 weeks. And again, what should you be able to do after this module? All this stuff. Look at that. All the stuff you'll be able to do. And more. Again, assignment. In a nutshell, you're gonna unwrap your UVs. You're gonna pack the UVs. Learn how to pack it. I'm gonna show you how to do one tile, and then I'm gonna show you how to do several UDIM tiles. And then we're gonna talk about Substance Painter, PBR, texturing, Arnold. We're gonna talk about lighting and rendering and presentation. Software we're going to be using specifically is going to be Autodesk Maya 2020 and Substance Painter this week. Okay, those two are the highlights right now. If you need additional help, I've got Autodesk Maya 2020. You just click on that. Substance Painter, just click on that. Photoshop, click on that. Xnorm, click on that. And Mudbox, click on that. I'm going to have these up every single module. And then I'm going to have, unfortunately, I'm going to have this in every single module. I know this is kind of redundant, but until I think you guys are learning and understanding, I want you to keep looking at this, learning and learning something new. So, if you can look at one, you can tell me what it is without looking down through here. Eventually, at the very end, I'm going to give you this. I'm not kidding. I'm going to give you this image, and then I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way to 19, and you're going to have to tell me what these are. Okay? Right? Now, all of you know what that is. Number 10, right? Don't even have to look, right? You know what it is? It's a viewport, right? I will take viewport. That's what I call it. They call it view panel. It's the same thing. Anyway, so you guys got to keep looking at this stuff. You guys gotta try to memorize this stuff because it's really important. This isn't the last time you're going to use Maya. If you're going to be in the animation program, you've got to know what these are. Channel blocks, right? Layer editor, right? What is that? Okay, so if you don't know, check it out. Read it. Learn more about it. Click on this, the time slider. Okay? Shortcut keys. Again, we learn, this week I want you to learn the QWERTY tools. QWERTY. Q for selection tool, W for move, E for rotate, R for scale, T for show manipulator, Y for select the last tool use. I love that one. Okay, the G is almost the same thing. What's the difference between these two? This one selects the last tool used. This one actually repeats your last keystroke, right? So if you did a duplicate, you hit the G key and it'll repeat what you just did. Okay, so those are similar. Frame F for framing selected. So if you select an object, hit the F, it'll frame that object. If you select an object and hit the A key, it'll frame your entire scene. So that's really cool. Set keys, if you want to do animation, we are going to get into that. I'm going to actually show you some fun little animations, like turntables and stuff like that, how to create those. We'll show you how to do basic animation, but we're not focused on that right now. Undo, okay, and then redo is Shift C. Okay, all right. So, lesson content. This is the meat and potatoes. What is texturing? Well, I tell you what, without texturing, even though this model's cool, I admit it, it's cool, and some of the models I've seen are just absolutely astounding, but how much better would they look if they have texture on it, right? That they at least have a color on it, So that's really super important. Okay, and then UV mapping. UV mapping is basically one of the most important things. If you get this wrong, doesn't matter how good you are as a texture artist, it won't look right. You'll have stretch UVs. It just will look wonky, and you'll have problems. So it's good that you learn how to UV map properly. And we're gonna get into more specific types of texturing, how to texture certain things, and we'll probably hit most of the tools in here eventually, but I'm only showing you the tools that are really, really important to get you started with the basics. Again, I could sit here and ramble on about all of this, all the things you can do, and all the tools. Same with modeling. That would take so much time, and you would just be your eyes would be glazed over. So do a little bit, learn a little bit, and then I give you more, give you more, give you more, give you more. So that's how I teach. It's just better to give you small amounts. And then we talk about texture scales, texture resolutions. They are 2 to 4K respectively right now, but we are working. They are working on getting up to 8K, which is absolutely breathtaking. And there's a program called Mari that does texturing that is absolutely amazing. I use that once in a while, and I'm learning it right now. It's 16K. 16K. There isn't any. It's almost like that's ridiculous, because there's no display out there that actually will let you see 16K. Okay, so but it's available. So we talk about what are UVs, right? What are UVs and UV mapping. We talked a little bit about that. And the first tutorial that you're going to watch is, besides this one, is basic UV mapping techniques. Okay? As you can see, I don't have anything else, right? So basic UV tech, and that's where you're going to start this week after reading the stuff that we just went through. Basic UV mapping techniques. Watch that and just follow along. And again, we're basically going to talk about PBR. That's super important. Physically based rendering. So watch that video. And there's another video that talks about PBR, and it's explained exactly how those textures are broken up and broken down, and how you use them and where you put them. And then here's the modeling tutorial. It is not really relevant. I'm going to have it again. Okay. If there's any tutorial you would like to skip, you can skip this one. I wouldn't. I would just watch it. You don't have to follow along with it and do it. You can watch it. I would recommend that. And it'll kind of give you more insight on some of the other tools that maybe I didn't touch last week, and that you want to learn more about and get prepared for. It's okay to do that. In fact, you could come back to this after your assignment's done and watch it. But I will put this tutorial, same tutorial, another one that I'm going to do for modeling next in Module 3. We talk about UDUM and UDUM tiling. What are UDUMs? How do you work with them? This is a great tutorial on that. Okay. Again, we talk about basics of lighting. The standard 3-point lighting technique, which is important, not just in photography, videography, film, and any other CG or any other type of industry that you need good lighting. This is a 3-point light system is the basic. Now there are incredibly gifted people that use outside lighting, and they can get away with just one light, and that's a gift. And then there are specific lighting techniques that are used, like in scary situations, like for film, that they have one light underneath the face, makes it look scarier and more ominous. That's unusual lighting, and that's specialized lighting. But when you are wanting to light an object, you're going to want to have the 3 core lights. Okay, and I want you to learn those. And then I want you to watch this video on lighting. Can give you an idea. And here's another video on lighting too. Make sure you watch everything and do it in a sequence. And then we have a course assignment. Once we learn the basics of what we're going to be doing, right? Then you're ready to go into the course assignment. Now, if you skip all these tutorials and go right to the meat of things without any base foundation and not watching those videos, you're going to seem really lost. Okay? Now, so again, the assignment is you're going to watch all these videos right here. It says right there, additional details to the sci-fi crate following the lesson instruction videos that are provided in the course. You will need to watch this. The student will lay out UDIM and UVs, the crate. You're going to bring the crate back into Substance Painter and export PBR. And we're going to add those textures to the Maya materials. And you'll use an AI standard surface, and we'll apply all those UDIM tiles to the material. And you're going to light render and display the sci-fi in a professional presentation. So here is the big one. This is where it starts. So you're going to lay out the UVs throughout, okay? And this is, you got 4 there, 4 of those. And then you've got Substance Painter, which we have quite a few of here. I think we got 3. Yeah, 3. But those are long videos. They're like 30 to 35 minutes each. So those are 3. And then you're going to bring all those textures back into Maya, and then I'll show you how to add all that stuff into Maya. And those are 5 videos. And man, I'm telling you what, it's so incredible to see your texture and everything rendered. It's pretty amazing. It's worth all the work you guys have gone through to create something from absolutely nothing. I mean, literally, you've created something from nothing. Now, you're telling yourself, well, there's a lot of people that create something from nothing. Really? They can actually create something from nothing? Like, nothing. How do you can't do that physically. So, very rarely, unless you're in a program like Maya, you can create something from nothing. Like in the physical world, you have to have something in your hand to create something, right? But in what you're doing, you're creating something from nothing. So people get a little confused when I say creating something from nothing. So grading rubric. So texturing and rendering. Alright, I'm going to grade you on this 20 points. So you completed and textured and detailed the low poly sci-fi crate. You're going to save it out as an MB, FBX, and OBJ file format. Oop, I forgot the T. I need to go back and add the T. And you're going to turn it into perspective front and back screenshots. And you're going to give me a front and back perspective renders. And you're going to give me a front and back perspective renders with wireframe. And I show you how to do all that in these videos, believe it or not. Okay? So, what am I going to grade you on? That's 20 points. Just turning that stuff in, that's worth 20 points, right? Okay, cool. And doing a good job, of course, you know. The low poly sci-fi crate UVs use UDIM tiling and are efficiently packed and do not exceed the UV01 threshold. That's worth 10 points. Texturing. The low poly sci-fi crates are a realistic texture and reflects real life materials like metal, plastic, glass, rubber, etc. There are no visible seams and the textures are free of errors like stretching and compression. All PBR texture maps are included. Okay, I think I meant to type in what texture maps you're supposed to have, but we all know we have to have the diffuse or the color map. You know, we have to have the roughness map, we have to have the metallic map, and we have to have the normal map. So there's 4. We get the extra height map and the emissive map. We don't use those. Lighting and rendering. Well, I show you how to do all that in here, so you're good to go there. So if you follow that exactly, A plus, right? You know, so you're following me. You're doing everything I'm asking you to do. So that should be like easy 10 points right there. I do have students that somehow, I don't know what happens, they miss something, and it might turn out graininess, or they're in a huge hurry and they don't want to wait the 15 minutes. I'm telling you, do not, again, I've stressed this, do not wait until the end of the week, on the weekend, to try to get all this stuff done. It doesn't work. This week especially, because this is where this is where students get themselves in trouble. If I was a student, which I was, I started my assignment immediately. In fact, when it was due in a week, I got them done in 2 or 3 days. That's just how I work. It's just how I work now. I got past the procrastination. Finally, and that after I did that, things really came together for me. Act like it's, I say it's due on Sunday night, 11:59. I mean, I would have it done. This is my opinion. I would have it done Friday. Just act like it's done. It's due on Friday, and you get it done on Friday. And then then it gives you time to kind of reflect on what you did and maybe change some stuff. But some of you guys get yourself in trouble by waiting too long. But that's, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I will definitely give you a tip. And don't wait until Friday to start working on this stuff, because it will kill you. Why torture yourself? And just get stuff in. And here's the turn-in instructions. Again, I'll have another video for you. It won't be as long as the last one, because really, you know what I'm looking for, right? So it's basically it's a little different, because I'm looking for instead of models, I'm looking for textures, right? But I do need your model and your textures, so make sure I get those. Okay. And you can see the folder structure. And then, I put something new in here. Extra credit. Create a new sci-fi crate by repurposing the old one. So basically what I want to do in a nutshell, I'm going to have videos in here. In fact, I just finished them tonight. But I want you to don't worry about, don't go to extra credit without having this done, because 50 points is you have to get that done. So get the assignment done if you have extra time, and if you get your stuff done by Friday, then you have extra time to do this over the weekend and get the extra credit, which is 10 points. Okay? Extra credit, 10 points. So since you've already done the large crate, I want you to do a smaller crate, and I'll have instructions on how to do it. Okay? And have fun, So I wish you the best of luck, and I have nothing but respect for you guys for learning all this new stuff and putting your best foot forward and doing the best job you possibly can. I really do appreciate that. So you guys have a great week, and let me know if you have any questions about anything, and send me an email. And if you need to, if it's something that's it's too tough to handle yourself, send me an email, let me know, and we'll put our heads together and we'll get this thing figured out. Anyway, you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next week in Module 3.